President Trump is wrapping up his first full week back in office, and it was a busy one with his first domestic trip that brought him to both coasts.
The president also spoke with reporters on Air Force One about his plans for everything from the Middle East to TikTok. Bradley Blackburn joins us here in studio with the very latest. Bradley.
Jenna, Elaine, good morning. The president has made a lot of news in this first week, and even more in that gaggle last night on Air Force One. He is showing he's not afraid to use the power of his office to push his agenda, but already some lawmakers are pushing back on some significant steps.
In Las Vegas Saturday, President Trump walked the floor of a casino and paused briefly at a craps table. Later, aboard Air Force One, he showed his cards to reporters on a host of issues, speaking about his ideas for refugees in Gaza.
I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people, and we just clean out that whole thing.
The president also spoke about lifting a Biden-era limit on sending 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. He said he'd consider making Saudi Arabia his first foreign trip. And he also talked about selling TikTok to a domestic owner.
Numerous people are talking to me, very substantial people, about buying it. And I'd make that decision probably over the next 30 days.
On Saturday, Trump spoke at a rally in Las Vegas and renewed his promise to eliminate tax on tips.
Tipped income, your tips will be 100% yours. Won't that be?
The president's cabinet is taking shape with the Senate confirmation of Kristi Noem as Homeland Security Secretary and Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. But some lawmakers are pushing back on Trump's sudden firing of more than a dozen federal inspectors general.
One more example of a lack of respect for rule of law.
These firings are Donald Trump's way of telling us he is terrified of accountability and is hostile to facts and to transparency.
Federal law requires that Congress receive 30 days' notice, and the firings will likely be challenged in court.
Now, President Trump told reporters those firings were standard practice, but even Republican Senator Chuck Grassley said the president needs to provide more explanation for why these inspectors general were removed from their oversight roles, which Jenna and Elaine are supposed to be independent.
All right, Bradley Blackburn for us here in the studio. Bradley, thank you. And for the latest on President Trump's first 100 days, as well as all the other developments from the White House and how they could impact you and your community, go to CBSNewYork.com or the CBS News app.